And he's not there because, of course, he's not.
I want to do my Collinsworth slide.
He's sliding in here.
Let me do it again. Ready? Well, now, good evening, boys.
Come here, partner.
Come here, partner.
Welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 2 of college football. Well, technically, I guess it's week 3 because week 0, then week 1, week 2, but it's week 2.
It's the third week of college football. We'll do that.
Yes, the third week of college football, but it's really week 2. We are here, the Branded Sports Weekend winners. You got me, KMS CEO Joe, Jay from A&M, and the Get Back coach himself, Mr. Jake. We're here to give you nothing but winners. And speaking of winners, let's check out the standings after week 1. How are you guys feeling after week 1?
Great.
Yeah,
great.
There we go.
I'm hiding in my hood right now.
So, real quick question, Kevin. Why is your name up top?
It just happens.
Nope. No, it doesn't. Not even alphabetical.
I was just gonna say, not even alphabetical.
Yeah.
Did I make the graphic?
You did.
This is like Brady Bunch.
6-2, 6-2, 5-3, 3-5. I gotta say, as a show altogether, not too shabby.
Not too bad, huh?
Yeah.
If you took every one of our plays, you doubled your money, because that's 20-10, right? 20-9.
Yes.
20-12. Whatever that is, it's plus money. So if you take every single winner or you take every single play, you end up a winner.
You do. And that's unless you just strictly go with Jay. Because how'd it feel being on that island, man?
Well, you can't be a follower. You do have to go out on your own path sometimes. Sometimes that path gets a little bit harder, right? It's the road less traveled, but it takes you to new sites. So
I respect that. I will say this week, I think it's going to be relatively split. We haven't seen each other's picks, so we have no idea where we're going with this. But this card this week,
tough.
Much more difficult than last week's card. I looked at the games we picked. I know we wanted to pick some good ones. We should have gave ourselves some cupcakes. We should have did Bama, Citadel, what they do every single year, give themselves a cupcake. We didn't give ourselves any cupcakes. We are Bama, Miami all the way through this entire schedule.
Yeah, not really excited about that one, to be honest.
No, not at all.
No. Before we dive into that, real quick, Jay, how was the game?
It was fun. It was hot as hell out there, dude.
Saw you drinking out of a shoe?
I was, you have to, keep the crowd going. Sometimes when the energy gets a little lax, you have to do something to get everybody fired back up. And
that's a man of the people right there.
That's what I'm saying. I'm there for the people. I want to entertain whenever there's a lull in the action. You got to keep those energy levels up.
I absolutely love it.
And Jake, your thoughts on Penn State's win?
Pretty emotional. Big win during week 1. Just hopefully they build off it because Ball State's coming to town, and they're a sneaky good football team. So it's a long season. I'm not getting my hopes up.
Some people have started calling them Ball So Hard State.
Yes. I like how Jake's preferencing like a game against Ball State as they're a pretty good team. That is a Penn State fan that has just been hurt before and not
down.
ready.
It sounds like the Texas fans getting ready for Louisiana Lafayette.
Yes, it does.
If you want my reaction to the Notre Dame debacle, head over to Spitball, and CEO Joe and I talk all about that. Not going to waste your time here. We dove well into that. So, I mean, should we just start making picks?
Good episode, by the way, guys. It was
Thank
good
you.
episode.
Appreciate that.
It's a lot of that. It's a podcast for everybody, as producer.
It is
a podcast for everybody.
Actually, Joe.
Picks. Yeah. What?
Odds Crowd
over there. All right. Download Odds Crowd, the app, Odds Crowd app. We're partnering with them. It's the best app out there. Listen, who likes money? I love money. Now imagine if somebody was just giving money away for you doing what you're already doing. That's what Odd Crowd's doing. You're already gambling. You're already betting. You're winning some bets. You're losing some bets. Maybe you have a tough weekend. Here's what you do. Ready? Here's how you guarantee yourself some wins. You bet your full slate. Then you take your opposite picks, put them in Odds Crowd for free. Okay. Let's say you win all your picks. You lose your Odds Crowd. That stinks. I didn't win free money in Odds Crowd. Well, it doesn't matter. You won all your money. You lost all your money. guess what? You've now won all your picks, and you're going to win free money from OddsCrowd. It's a win-win. All right, download OddsCrowd. It's a fantastic app. Use promo code
Brand1.
Brand1.
Look at the bottom of the screen.
One. Yeah, I will say, tip your cap to Kevin for being fair by putting all of the referral codes down there, but use Brand1. All right, I am the OG.
Imagine not having a D and having 2 letters.
Yikes.
Would never be me.
Yikes, could never be. Couldn't be. Download the app, support OddsCrowd, which supports us, which we support you. It's one big support circle, all right?
We're just here. We're going to give you winners now. Take those winners, put them in OddsCrowd.
It's an Ouroboros of gambling knowledge.
Exactly. I don't even know what that word means, but that's at A&M.
I thought you said Bora Bora. I don't know.
That's what I thought he said.
Well, whenever you win all your money, you can go to Bora Bora.
Go to Bora Bora. There you go.
Been there. Do it. I've been there, and I suggest it. Let's go. All right. Let's get into our games here, gentlemen. We're going to start in the Carolinas. So South Carolina is a 1.5-point favorite heading over to East Carolina. Over-under set at 56.5. This game kicks off at noon Eastern. Joseph, we will start with you.
Yeah, I don't like this game. Once again, I told you this slate is way tougher than the slate that we dealt with last week. I don't like this game one little bit. South Carolina is a team I just can't trust yet. You never know what they're, typically you say this, you say, you're looking at the SEC, versus, East Carolina. This should be a walkover game. It's not going to be. It's going to be back and forth. Either one of these teams has the potential to win this. I like points. I love points. You're looking at the weather is going to be 77, no rain, sunny. That's points weather. I'm taking the over in this 56.5. So give me that.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Jay, let's head down to Texas before you leave for your fishing trip. What are you thinking about the Carolinas?
Well, here's my thought on this. Anytime I have a story that I like, I tend to go for those types of stories. So with South Carolina having a graduate assistant as their starting quarterback, that's one of those stories that just kind of grabs me. So I am taking South Carolina to cover here. I think a lot of people have counted him out, and I actually think Shane Beamer is bringing a lot of positive energy to that program. I don't think they're going to be able to compete once they get into the SEC play, but I mean, this is an East Carolina team that isn't putting up a ton of points. Although, to Joe's point, I do think that anybody can be a quarterback when it's 77 and sunny. Yep. So there's a chance that over hits, but I feel more confident in South Carolina covering than I do in the over.
Cox.
Jake, your thoughts on this game?
So as soon as I saw this line stinks. There's something up. You think you think South Carolina is going to cover this easily. They looked good last week. Again, granted, it was against Eastern Illinois, but East Carolina lost to App State. Special teams touchdown really is the only thing that made it close. I'm going East Carolina here. This line stinks. You go. Everyone and their mother is going to be throwing money on South Carolina. I'm going with the Pirates, and it's in East Carolina. Sneaky rivalry game too.
It's Greenville, North Carolina. I think is
Greenville. Yes,
Granville.
Yeah, don't count out Eastern Illinois. That's the home of the fighting Tony Romo's, isn't it?
It might be actually.
Yeah,
it is.
So we have one game, 3 totally different picks.
So does that mean I need to go the under
you
now?
Almost have to. I'm not going to force your hand too because I don't want to hear crap if it loses. But
I mean,
you could join me on Cox Island.
Be a man of integrity.
I mean, the only thing besides just picking outright the South Carolina game would be to pick the under here because fuck. See, now my whole head's messed up because that's not where I was going. I was going with East Carolina plus 1.5. But now I want to come full circle here.
You do the under. That way only one of us – well, no. Actually, 2 of us will win. 2 of us will win. 2 of us will lose.
And I'll be going head-to-head with you.
Yep. The head-to-head matchup.
Which I hate.
Head-to-head matchup.
This could throw off the fantasy football.
The tie will be broken after.
There we go.
Yep. All right, I'm going under. I'm going under 56.5.
Strictly.
There we go.
Because
that's a showman. That's a showman right there. Does it for
It's for the
love of the
content.
program.
Yeah.
It's for the content.
That's
So
for
we
content.
we're doing one of these in this game. We just have all sides covered. Okay.
Yep. Guarantee. Now that's how you guarantee we hand out winners right
Yep.
there. We pick every single.
Could not
Single
be
bet.
better.
All right. So we have South Carolina -1.5, East Carolina +1.5, over 56.5, and under 56.5.
Perfect.
We'll see.
Guarantee we got 2 winners there. We
All
just
right.
handed you 2 winners.
On to our next game at noon. Oregon at Ohio State. Ohio State's a 14.5 point favorite at home in the shoe. Over under set at 63.5. And like I said, this game kicks off at noon. Jay Arnold, where are you going?
So I'm going to Hondo, Texas for a dove hunting trip. But for this game, I am actually going to go with Oregon. I think that's too many points. Oregon, it's not the Chip Kelly teams of old where they put up a ton of points, but this is an Oregon team that still has a lot of explosive speed out there. I wasn't super impressed with what we saw from Ohio State in their first game on the road, albeit against a Minnesota team in the rain. So there was a lot of variables there. That being said, I'm not convinced that this Ohio State team is the dominant teams of the past few years. And Oregon, I think, has something to prove after having a very, very shaky start against Fresno State. I do think Ohio State wins. I just think Oregon keeps it within 2 touchdowns.
Jake.
Okay, so I don't like the 0.5 here.
The hook.
I don't like the hook.
I just learned what that term meant.
The hook. I don't like the hook. I do like the over 63.5. I think Oregon will score some points. I know Ohio State's going to throw some points. It doesn't look like Thibodeau is going to play for Oregon, so I'm going with the points, 63.5.
We love points.
I love points.
Joseph?
Yeah, I like the over too. That's not my pick. I do think there's going to be a lot of points here. I think that there's a better chance though that Ohio State is able to shut down Oregon a little bit. Now, this is another one of these games, and I know this happens all the time because we put in our picks at different times. I got this at 13.5. This game actually opened at Ohio State -10. So the line's already moved 4.5 points, which is huge. And
Massive.
Listen, I'm not going to tell you what to do out there, but if a line moves that much, you take where the line's going.
Baby.
Yeah, always trust the line. That we saw the same thing with Florida State.
Yep.
That Florida State game opened way as they were huge dogs and then came down. That screams you got to take them. So I'm actually going to take Ohio State minus the 13.5. I got in before the hook. Thank goodness. Yes, the offense or this team didn't look fantastic. What we would typically see from Ohio State, these wide receivers are unbelievable. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, you still covered 14 points in Minnesota for Minnesota's Super Bowl. So I'll take that as a more impressive win than what Oregon was supposed to do against Fresno. They barely beat them by 7. Yes, Fresno can score, but they came in. Oregon was minus 1,100 money line on that game. Can't win by 1 touchdown when you're favored that much.
There's another shot to win too.
Yeah, yeah, they did legit. So yeah, give me
good too, but like not Oregon.
I mean, they can score, but at home, Oregon should beat that team. A little bit better than that, especially if they're ranked 11 at the time. So give me.
You got to wonder if they were looking forward to that Ohio State game. Though
they could have been. See what they got. But give me them by two TDs.
So we're playing this game again.
Oh, you got to take the under.
Let's
I am not taking the under. I am with Jake on this. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored here. Anytime you see those Oregon jerseys, that just screams points to me. And Ohio State, we know what they're going to do, especially in the shoe at home with those wide receivers. They're going to want to put on a show. Is this on Fox too? Is this one with?
I think it's Big Noon Kick.
Oh yeah, so points. Okay, he's just going to be screaming. They had no points on Big Noon Kick last week with Wisconsin. Penn State. So there's going to be points here. Give me the over 63.5.
It's going to be the complete opposite of
Penn
State, Wisconsin.
And I can't wait.
I could actually see too for this game. I could see the first half trending for under, and you'd have a really good opportunity to get a discounted over-under line where that 63.5
Yep.
might drop down to somewhere like 55, 56, where you're going to get a 1 touchdown discount. Where if I was at that point, I'd jump all over it because I think it still ends up covering. But I think I could definitely see this ends up being like a little bit slower in the beginning. You get a really good discount at halftime.
Have you downloaded Odds Crowd yet? Because if you haven't,
I'm already on it, baby. I am on it. In there like swimwear.
Brand 9.
Brand 1, baby.
Deuces. All right. Our next noon game. Pittsburgh is a 3.5-point favorite heading to Rocky Top, Tennessee. Over under set 56.5. Game kicks off at noon. So, Jake, we're starting with you as Amari Cooper.
So I just want to say that I don't wish harm onto people, but if there's one stadium that could collapse and like just go into the Tennessee River, it would be Pittsburgh at Tennessee this week because I freaking hate both of these programs. I hate their fan bases. And if you want to hear me go on a complete tirade about that, check out the Get Back Coach, which is episode 10 from earlier this week. But anyway, I am taking Pitt. I got this at -3. I just think defensively they're better than Tennessee. Narduzzi puts all of his eggs in one basket at the beginning of the year and says, this is the game, and like just beats his team into submission. So now they usually lose the game, but I have a good feeling. I just don't think Tennessee's got it. I'm going Pitt -3, and I just feel dirty doing it.
Feels nasty dirty. Jay?
Dude, I hate this game so much.
Yep, absolutely.
This is a disgusting line. This is a disgusting game. This is the epitome of like sickos of college football.
Yes.
Right? Like nobody wants to watch this game, but we're going to tune in because we're addicted to the sport. I'm taking the under in this. I think both teams are going to be playing pretty sloppy. Tennessee struggled mightily in the first half last week. I didn't get a chance to check out Pittsburgh, but a Narduzzi team is not going to be one that is looking to aggressively put up points. So I'm taking the under on this. As much as we normally love points, this is one game where I think the under is going to pay off in a big way.
Yosef.
Yeah, I have a bone with Narduzzi because Narduzzi, I wanted him to take over eventually when Mark D'Antonio was going to step down. Obviously, he got the opportunity before that happened, and then Mark D'Antonio takes that surprise. Whatever. All right, that's my Michigan State rant. I wanted to see him take over, and he didn't. But I agree with you. When Narduzzi coaches a game, there's not a lot of points that are going to be scored, which is why I'm taking Tennessee plus the 3.5. They're at home. I like them. I don't know. I hate this matchup. And anytime that I feel like there's not going to be a lot of points, it's going to be an ugly game. Give me the home dog. Maybe they win it outright, but at least they keep it within a field goal. So I'm taking Tennessee plus the 3.5 here.
How are we doing this again?
This is a weird. I said it before we gave a single pick. I said we're going to be all over the place. There's not going to be any islands. And I couldn't have been more correct.
Well, I think they're all islands.
That's true. Too.
We're Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
We got a whole chain going.
We're each our own island. Except for here, because I am going with Rocky Top plus 3.5. I couldn't agree with you more, Joseph. Ugly line, ugly game. Go with the home dog. I could absolutely see them winning this game outright, and if not, keeping it with 3. So
I will say those fans, no matter how bad Tennessee is, they show up. So and plus Pittsburgh, a team they're not used to, that place is going to be going crazy, singing Rocky Top and all the other dumb shit that they do.
They're delusional. That's why, because they're delusional.
They are delusional.
Some of the most delusional fan bases are Tennessee and Notre Dame. And when it comes to college football, just delusional.
Hang on, I will say Tennessee Twitter is a cesspool, as a toxic cesspool, and it's 10 times worse than Notre Dame.
It's like Tennessee and Florida State are probably the 2 worst Twitter groups.
Yep.
Ohio State Twitter's pretty bad too.
Well, Ohio State is just bad.
That's
State. I mean,
I could go on for hours about that. But
imagine wanting to go to college in Ohio.
First off, real quick, because we are taping this. Yeah, I know. We're taping this during the Thursday night football game. nobody cares about your fantasy team. I love watching Dallas Cowboys lose in ridiculous ways, and watching them miss these field goals and extra points is fantastic, except for the fact that I have Greg Zerliner on my fantasy team, and he is just shitting. Like, I'm guaranteed I'm going to lose this week because of just the hole he's putting me in. The kicker can't put you in a hole.
Well, that's what we get for using Yahoo.
Did you just see that?
Yeah, I did see that
interception.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Which doesn't count against Tom. That shouldn't – if you hit a running back in the hands like that, that shouldn't count as a Tom Brady interception. That should be a fumble. That should be a fumble.
It was a little high enough.
Tom's record. I'm taking that. Anytime I bring up Tom's stats, I'm minusing one interception.
Alternative interceptions. They should have a category.
Yes.
Alternative interceptions. Yeah.
Correct. All right. What do we got next?
Back to the games at hand today. Our next game. I love this game.
Elastico
at Iowa State. Iowa State 4.5-point favorites, over under 46.5, and this is a 4:30 kick. I'm going to throw this out there. Who wants to go first? Joseph? Okay.
Yeah.
Me.
This doesn't make any sense. If you have eyeballs, this doesn't make any sense, which scares me.
Yep.
Preach.
This is an Iowa outright win, and Iowa getting 4.5 points makes no sense. Yes, it's in Iowa State. I don't give a shit. Okay. This over under 46.5 is screaming under. Once again, what did we just talk about? When it's an under sloppy game, it's hard for a team to get away from another team. Iowa's legit. I put them somewhere in my top 10, like 8 or 9. I only put them there because I felt like I would have gotten killed if I would have put them 6 or 7. This team's legit. Iowa's legit. Iowa's going to win this game. I like them to win this game by a 3 or a 6, something like that. But I like Iowa.
Oh, I thought you were going one place and then you went somewhere completely different.
I'm going to go here because I'm on the same train. Watching Iowa do what they did to Indiana last week. Yes, it was at home. They are for real. And I think they're going to come into Iowa State on a mission, punch them in the goddamn mouth, and win this game outright. Outright. Give me Iowa plus 4.5. Jake?
All right. So this is another line that stinks to me. I thought this is where Joe was going with this. We just saw Iowa completely demolish Indiana. Iowa State struggled with Northern Illinois. And you're telling me the following week, Iowa State is going to be a 4.5-point favorite?
It makes no sense. It makes
zero sense.
What do you know that we don't know?
Why go Iowa? No. Listen, I love Iowa. Hang on. I love Iowa. I've said it on my podcast. I've said it in blogs. I think they are the real deal. But this line
makes no sense.
Exactly. And because it makes no sense, I'm going with Iowa State minus 4.5.
So real quick, let me interject.
My logic says take Iowa, but it's too easy. No, I'm taking the Cyclones 4.5.
And I agree that when a line doesn't make sense like this, typically I'll just follow the line.
Yep.
But one counterpoint, this did open up at 5.5. So we're already down a point.
Okay.
And I could see this easily at kickoff time being minus 3.5, minus 3. So I think right now 4.5, you're getting a discount. If I was hands tied behind my back, had to play this game, once it gets anywhere below 3.5, I'm not touching it because of, shout out Jay, that hook. I'm not messing with that hook if I'm an Iowa State.
That hook. Speaking of Jay.
So I think the reason that we saw this line open up like this and why Iowa State was favored is just because of the expectations going into the season, right? Iowa State's coming off a great year for their program. I think some people are kind of overlooking what they did last week against Northern Iowa, FCS Northern Iowa, even though that game was always close. For some reason, it seems like Northern Iowa always plays both of these teams close whenever it's like an early season game. And I don't know if that's just Iowa and Iowa State both getting out to slow starts or the fact that it's like a little bit of a conference game. Maybe they play similar styles of ball. I don't know what the deal is. But, again, anybody that had eyeballs last week, Iowa looks like a far better team. So I'm going Iowa to win outright as well. But since we're not doing that, I'm taking the plus 4.5.
That's okay. That's good.
Welcome to Jake Island, Myers Island.
It's all right. It's okay. We'll see.
I'm gonna have to make a new graphic.
Listen,
traffic
last
time.
week I went with my brain and it screwed me twice. One of the picks I didn't share on the show was San Jose State, and the other one was West Virginia. So I'm going with my gut the entire way here.
I respect that. 93 degrees. It's going to be. That's hot. for
93
Iowa.
in Ames, yeah.
For Iowa, yeah, for Ames, that's hot.
Is this heaven? No. It's Iowa.
West Virginia? Oh.
Anyway, yeah, what game do we got next?
All right. We got NC State minus 1.5 at Dak Prescott's
disgusting.
Mississippi State. Over under 55.5, 7 p.m. Eastern kick. Since Jay is so excited about this game, I'm going to have you go first. Oh, God.
Yeah, because I'm going to pull out my Christopher Walken and say I need more cowbell because I'm definitely taking Mississippi State at home in this contest. I do like what NC State did last week. They absolutely thrashed South Florida. But having played at Mississippi State, it's not a fun place to go into, especially if you get your bell rung once or twice and then all of a sudden there's actual bells ringing. It's no good. And that crowd can get loud. We'll see what kind of game plan Mike Leach has for NC State. Obviously, you know what Leach wants to do. He wants to go out there, throw the ball, spread it around. Mississippi State at home is the thing. And NC State's one of those teams that always hangs around and plays tough. They're scrappy. But this isn't a game that I love.
No.
But I just think that Mississippi State at home, I have to ride with them on this.
Jake?
I don't like this game. I don't like betting on this game. I'm taking NC State 1.5 just because I feel like their offense is in a better place than Mississippi State's. I feel like their defense is in a better spot. Mississippi State's defense is going to probably control this game early, but I just feel that NC State towards the end is going to wear them down because I don't know what Mississippi State has on offense. I don't know if Mike Leach is going to figure it out in this game, but I'm taking Wolfpack 1.5.
Joseph?
Yeah, I absolutely hate this game. Absolutely hate this game. This is one of the games where you don't want to bet it.
Nope.
But you're going to watch it because this should be a really fun game to watch. I think it's going to be who knows who's going to win. But I'm going to take NC State. I just think last week much more impressive than what we saw from Mississippi State. I hate going against home dogs, but in this one it just makes more sense to me. So I'm going to take NC State minus the 1.5.
I'm putting Arnold on his island. NC State minus 1.5. Give me the Wolfpack on the road. I don't even need to continue with what you guys were saying. They were a more impressive team last week. They look like a better team on both sides of the ball, and that's why I'm taking the favorite here at minus 1.5 on the road. Sorry, Arnold.
Can't believe you've done this.
Somebody had to do it.
You love your island. You love your island.
It worked
All right.
out for all of us last week. So.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so hopefully it'll work out for me this week, right?
All right, we're heading into our last joint pick, and then each of us are going to give a random game that we're choosing. Yes.
Make sure you go download the Odds Crowd app. This is a good. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. Ready? Let's do 10 seconds of silence to give people a chance to download Odds Crowd. Ready? Go. All right, so now that you've downloaded the app, here's what you're going to do. You're going to enter contests. You're going to enter these free contests, NFL, NCAA, there's baseball. They got everything. You're going to enter these free contests, and then you're going to win the contest. You're going to win a bunch of money. But, Joe, wait, this is such a good idea. I feel like I've been referred by you guys. Mm-hmm. How do I give back? Enter referral codes, brand 1, brand 2, brand 13 and brand 9. Okay,
that's brand without a D for 13.
Yeah.
Like
I wasn't good enough to get the D on there.
Make sure you enter one of our referral codes. It helps support us. We support them. It's the best app out there. Literally, all we're doing is handing out free money. That's what we do. We wake up in the morning. We just hand out free money. Why? Because we care. Kevin,
put a little extra shrimp on the bobby for our boys down in Australia. All right, our last joint game together. Washington at Michigan. Michigan 6.5-point favorite. Over under set at 48.5. Night game, 8 p.m. kickoff. Did you guys hear the Big House go wild last week singing?
Oh, Mr. Brightside, right?
Yeah. I hate Michigan, but
I hate Michigan with a passion.
There was a lot of cool moments from home crowds last night, huh?
Right?
Or
Wait,
last week.
hold on. This is -6 now?
That's what I got it at.
Holy shit, it just went up again.
What's it at now?
-7.
So going back to the advice that we have, chase the line. So I am on Michigan -6.5. I mean, Washington losing to Montana
stinks.
I have no idea. I mean, I don't know what the AP voters saw going into the season to have Washington ranked. Obviously, that was a huge mistake. So, you lose to an FCS program at home. Come on,
That's a problem.
So I'm hammering Michigan on this one. I think playing at the Big House, a Washington team that's reeling from their loss to Montana. This is a Washington that's, they're coming to the Eastern time zone, or is it? I can't remember if
Central. I think Central.
I think it's Central. Yeah.
Okay. Either way, they're coming 2 time zones over. And granted, it is a night game, but night game in the Big House. Come on, you got to take Michigan, especially with the line continuing to rise.
Jake.
Well, I don't think Jay and I have agreed on any pick so far, and we're not going to agree on this one.
Wow.
Somebody
I'm taking
in for a tough weekend.
I'm taking a Washington. I got this at +7. Here's a little fact for you guys. Preseason ranked teams, okay, when they lose to an FCS opponent, it has happened 5 times. All of those teams went on to have winning records and then win their bowl games.
Okay. I like that.
Interesting.
I think
Has Michigan ever been ranked and lost to an FCS team?
Yes.
Okay.
App State started off. Oh yeah, and they won the Citrus Bowl that year. They beat Florida.
I just had to remind.
Think about
App
that.
State.
They lost to App State, and then they went and beat Florida. Oregon State was another team. I think they won the Hawaii Bowl. I think that was the worst out of all the 4, teams.
I know Iowa's lost to.
Iowa's lost to
State.
Iowa lost to North Dakota State, and I think they went on, and I think they won like the Citrus Bowl or Outback Bowl. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is Washington, they love Jimmy Lake. They love their head coach. They hate that he has taken the heat here, and they're going to go out and play some inspired football. On top of that, offensive coordinator John Donovan is probably coaching for his job, so he's going to pull out all the stops. I know it's Michigan. I know it's at night. I've been in the Big House. It is an awesome place. But with how that bowl is shaped, all that noise rises to the top. It's not as loud as some of these other places. All right. They used to get the nickname the Big Library. But I'm taking Washington. This is going to be an old drag out alley fight. Washington's going to be playing some inspired football. Michigan doesn't have Ronnie Bell. They're probably their best offensive player. Huskies +7. I'm not saying they're going to win, but they're covering +7.
I agree that they are definitely not going to win this game. If they love their coach so much, then they probably shouldn't have lost to Montana last week. I don't know. There's no better way to say I love you than not losing to an inferior program. Listen, all right. This is how much of a man of the people I am. I like to, right when the weekends, usually Sunday is when the college football lines get in, and I'll get in, try to see what the early lines are, see if I can get ahead of anything. I got Michigan at -3.5 because of what we're doing here, and because of how big this actually opened Michigan -1.5, and I felt like I was late to the party because of what we're doing here. I'm a man of the people. I'm not even Kevin. When you do records, you give me Michigan -6.5 because that's how confident I am. I don't even want the -3.5. Now, granted, they lose by 4. I'm going to come on here next week and cry to the moon that I won that game. So just so you know.
Of course.
But Michigan is winning this by a touchdown. I agree that I think this is going to be a ball game for a while until Michigan decides it's no longer wants to be a ball game. I like Michigan by a touchdown easy in this game. It's set up for them, and I just don't think Washington has what it takes to go in there and win this game.
So Jake's coming in here with all these stats, 5-0, impressive.
I like where this is
I
going.
really enjoyed everything and my brain was like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Ooh, I like that.
Do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
Agree with that.
Do it, Kevin.
No, Michigan's winning this game at least by a touchdown.
Right.
I hate Michigan. I'm a Notre Dame fan. I was at the last Michigan at Notre Dame game when
I hate them too.
24-17.
Actually, all of us hate them.
Yeah, we all do
Correct.
hate them.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I don't feel bad for I don't hate Michigan. They're not the worst.
Well,
Nobody's perfect.
yeah.
But I'm taking Michigan at home minus the 7. You just Washington just poop in their mouth. Poop face.
Jake Island.
Yep.
It might be Jake Island this week.
Update the graphic. Update the graphic.
I will do that. All right, let's get into our individual picks before we get out of here. So we're gonna go Joe's first.
All right, so Air Force Navy play this weekend, and originally I was going to look at Michigan State, Youngstown State, and I was going to look at the first half line for that. I don't like the full game line for that, so that's just a little free pick I'm going to give out there. I love Michigan State in that first half line, but my pick this weekend, we're going to Air Force Navy since 2005. Okay, I was in high school still. Kevin, I think you might have been in college. Jay's like, I don't even know. Like, he's probably learning his letters. I think he's younger than us by a mile. Since 2005, the under when academies play academies, 38-9. You know what percentage that is? Don't rack your brain. It's like 80%. Okay. Over under this game, 40.5. I'm taking the under. I'm riding that trend. We've all seen the Army Navy games year after year. We watch it. It's like 6-9 in the third quarter. We're like, why are we watching this? Are we doing it just out of respect from the troops? Yes, we are. Okay. This is going to be an under game. I love the under. Give me my under 40.5.
All right.
Jay, why do we like to watch the academies play?
Why do we like to watch the academies play?
Say it,
Option football.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was going to say because we're sick people, but
yeah, that's true.
We're that too.
well, yeah,
Option football is part of being sick people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that flex bone, beautiful.
Nobody that's like a reasonable, sane person likes watching option football.
No,
you're sickos.
No. Oh yeah.
All right, Jake, what do you got here?
All right, so I'm going against my Lions here. I have Ball State plus 22.5. I think Penn State is going to have a little bit of a hangover against Ball State. I'm not saying they're losing, but Ball State returning 20 out of 22 starters. I think against Western Illinois, I think they were pretty vanilla. I only saw highlights, but just kind of looking at stats, I think they were pretty vanilla. I don't think they wanted to show too much. They're going to come in and they're going to try and upset the Penn State Nittany Lions in Beaver Stadium. So I think this is maybe like a 17-point victory for the Nittany Lions. I don't think it's ever really close after the second quarter, but I think Ball State's going to put up a fight. So I'm taking Ball State. The Cardinals, 22.5.
This does scream backdoor cover.
Who's one of the most famous alumnus from Ball State?
David Letterman.
Attaboy. Jay, just reading the brain.
No, who was the ball so hard state? What was that? Is that like Sub or somebody like that?
No,
he went to Arizona
University.
State. Ball so hard University, yeah. But he was from Arizona State.
All right, I'm keeping mine quick and easy here. Western Kentucky is heading up to Army. Army's a 5.5-point favorite. This game is on Saturday, which is 9/11, 20 years. You don't pick against Army on a day like this. Army, minus 5.5. Academy, option football. They're going to beat the hell out of Western Kentucky trying to come to Army and win this game upstate New York. It's just not going to happen.
That is
Army's going to own the day.
Stylistic matchup, by the way.
It is.
Full on air raid, Bailey Zapp versus Army. And
Something's
triple
got to
option.
give, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Something's got to give.
Army's just got to hold the ball all day long. Just hold, run. Don't put the air raid on. So I'm just doing for my country here. Army -5.5.
I love it. I love that pick.
I love it.
Absolutely
Love that
love it.
pick.
And guess
Mhm.
what? The game's 10 minutes in, so I'm gonna throw out a guess. Army's actually up right now, 3-0. Very impressive start.
Yes, that's right. So hopefully you got this. Actually, yeah, 10 minutes because we're 40 minutes in. You're so smart.
Thank you.
So smart. All right, the last pick of the day. We're going big night game. Jay.
So we went from, we had Navy Air Force, and then we had an Army pick. So sticking with the war topic, I figured we'd go to the Holy War in Utah between BYU Cougars and the Utah Utes. First of all, I just love this rivalry game. It's one of those games where I feel like there's always a bit of chippiness. There's always somebody upset about something that's going on in the field. I miss when these two used to be conference mates back in the Mountain West days. But that being said, I still think the intensity is there. Here's the thing. Between Utah and BYU, I think going back to 2010, Utah's won every game. But of those games, every single one of them has been a 2-score game with the exception of 2. So you look at in 2019, I think it was 30-12 Utah. And then I think in 2011, it was 54-12 Utah. The rest of them have all been 1-score games. When I look at this line, Utah's going to BYU, -7, 1 score. I like BYU to cover that give that +7 to BYU. I look at the over-under, and I don't really like that because these two teams tend to be a little bit unpredictable when they play. It's a little bit chaotic, as rivalry games tend to be, but I do like BYU to cover.
Love it. I think BYU can win this game outright.
Absolutely, especially in Provo. I mean, the Mormons are going to be rocking there in that stadium, so should be fun. I always love the BYU Utah game whenever they weren't scheduled for the regular season and they ended up playing the Las Vegas Bowl, the Holy War in Sin City.
That should
Great
not
time.
be allowed.
How do you think like a chippy BYU like players, like if they had like a BYU player mic'd up because you're like, oh, he's get chippy. Just imagine what that must sound like. And they're like, hey, listen here, buddy. All right.
I imagine it's a lot like Phillip Rivers.
They're really crunching my crackers right now.
You gotta get
They got into a brawl with Memphis like a couple years ago.
Yep.
A bowl game. I forget the bowl game, but it was like them versus Memphis. I think Memphis started it, but then BYU like stormed the benches and
Here's
like
the thing, though.
brawl.
BYU is not a team that you want to get in a fight with because there's like some 26-year-old dudes that have come back from like their missions.
Oh yeah. Also, Kalani Sataki, man. A man that you do not mess with.
Did he end up winning the poll?
I think he's winning right now.
Yeah.
I just can't believe they're not even allowed to drink coffee or tea.
Which would make me pissed off too. That would explain why they get so chippy.
Yeah,
Brady with another.
I know. And another missed kick too.
Yep.
Literally, I'm down 200 points in fantasy right now.
He kicked it literally with his foot on the 50-yard line.
I thought nobody cared about your fantasy.
They don't care. But you know what? It's just I can't watch a kicker. You know what it is too? It's at the draft. I legitimately was like, do I go this guy or this guy? Let me just take him. I think Dallas can have a better offense. And now here we are.
Yeah, I tell you what, playing in a fantasy league with a bunch of Philly sports fans, get pretty good value on Cowboys picks.
Yeah, and there's no value for Eagles, but
No.
All right, so what do we think here? I mean, I'm not gonna lie,
Not confident.
I'm going 5-2 this week. All right, going 5-2.
I may go like 0-8, to be honest.
And we only made 7 picks. That's how bad.
That's impressive.
Well, we did we did only make 7 picks, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I was a marketing
impressive.
major. It was the business major with the least math.
That would be extremely impressive. I changed my major just so I didn't have to take Spanish.
I get an extra L on the record for missing on all my picks, right?
Yeah.
If you go 0-7, you get an extra loss.
100%.
I'm gonna have to do do the picks next week from under my dining room table.
Correct.
Look at this. We went from an hour and 1 minute where Joe had to spend 2 hours cutting down to an hour to 45 minutes. This is beautiful.
I wasn't happy about it at all.
Hey,
Not at all.
that's the mantra of any successful team: get better week after week.
Exactly.
We're doing that. boys.
Shore it
We're
up.
doing that.
Tighten it up. Tighten it up.
So we have the D1 guy here.
Exactly. Well, Jay, enjoy your
Not
fishing
gambling picks.
Yeah, you're very
Not very D1 talent there. I'm more like
your
NAIA.
FPS gambling picks.
trip. You're Washington losing at home
Yeah.
to an inferior opponent.
Montana. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm UConn football of D1.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Kevin actually said before we started, he's like, looking at like that plus 30 something. I was like, I wouldn't bet UConn.
Yeah, at
My
all.
life depended on it.
Until Dan Orlovsky becomes the head coach.
I
Dude, I
bet they
can't-
don't even score 40 points all season.
We
All
get to
the-
watch Vanderbilt UConn later this season.
Oh God.
I mean, I'm still going to. I probably will.
Oh, I will just. I will have.
Sickos, dude.
Sick people.
Yeah, absolutely
Sick people. We're sick
disgusting.
people.
I'll have 4 TVs going that day in my basement. We'll be there.
Uh,
All right. Enjoy all the games today. Jay, enjoy the fishing trip. Jake, enjoy Penn State holding off Ball State.
Oh yeah.
Joe, enjoy changing some diapers.
Touche. All right, boys. Another great weekend.
Mwah.
For winners. Download Odds Crowd. Download Odds Crowd. Referral code brand1. Brand 1.
Brand 9.
Brand.
Don't
nine.
remember all these
Brand
other
one-
stupid
one
numbers.
three.
1.
Two.
Uno.
Brand 1-3.
First
Like an
number.
angry
One
German
is
man.
the
Nine.
loneliest number
Nine.
that you'll ever know.
So
Brand
yeah,
1-3.
download, please.
Brand.
Odds Crowd. Download.
999.
Whoa.
Thank you for watching Branded Sports Weekend Winners brought to you by Odds Crowd. We'll be back next week at 11